What's up, Scrappy peeps? It's the Delph from Inkie Quill, and we're up with a Grab 5 challenge today. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. Grab 5 is where I pick 5 bits and pieces from my stash and I create a page with them. Every single piece has to be somewhere on the page. It just depends on how much I want to use it or not. I like to try and combine old things and new things from my stash usually. But today, as a special treat, because I think this is my first violet layout on this channel, I decided to just pick all new goodies. So all of these bits and pieces were from Love to Create, which is an Aussie scrappy store. If you're in the Newcastle region, there's lots of fabulous things there, and I recently did a bit of a haul that will come up in the next few weeks. But I've got some words, I think they're from a new Pebbles collection, the new Maggie Holmes sticker book, Dear Lizzie tiny words, and ephemera, and some pink paisley puffy hearts, which are very, very luscious. And I may have bought 3 packets of them because I knew I was going to use them too much. So first of all, I'm picking the papers, and this was one of my favourite photos that I took of Vi in her first few weeks. She just looked so peaceful, and she loves to just look at ceilings. She loves lights and ceilings and always looking up towards the sky. And so I wanted to definitely do a page with this photo. I'm flicking through and trying to figure out what I wanted to use. I didn't know if I wanted to go with a busy background because she's wearing a little Bonds onesie that's very colourful and very, very floral, and I didn't want to take away from that. So I was tempted to do this floral background on the right, but I didn't know if it would be too busy. And so instead I'm going through, this is the Pebbles, I think it's Happy Cake Day it's called. It's a birthday collection, but you can always use the papers for things that aren't birthday related. First of all, I also want to say a quick thank you to everyone for your lovely comments and messages about the passing of poor little Poppet this week. We lost Poppet earlier in the week. She had some bladder and stomach complications and just went downhill really rapidly. So it's been a tough week, peeps, but we're doing good and we're in a better headspace now. So thank you very much for all of those wishes and just words of love and encouragement. Secondly, this is a bit exciting to brighten this week up a little bit. Tomorrow I am doing a live stream. So if you are new to my channel, I've been doing these for years, the Inkie Quill scrap streams, and it will be on this channel, my main channel, not Let's Get Inkie this time. And I'm starting on, so it's January 26th at 7 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, which if you're tuning into this video when it goes up is less than 24 hours away. And I will be doing some scrapbooking, some project life, some art journaling, maybe a traveler's notebook. I will do anything that you would like to see. I'm really excited because I think the last one I did was in June. I'm pretty sure it was in June. So I'm looking forward to chatting with you all. So essentially, if you haven't tuned into one before, I will be working and you'll be able to see what I'm working on and see my face, and there'll be a chat that you can talk to people from all around the world. You can scrap along and do your own projects, or you can just sit back, relax and watch and join in on the chat. And it's just a really nice way to, I feel like I'm scrapping with friends when I do it, which is one of my favorite things about scrapbooking, because I think that if you've never had a chance to go to a retreat or a crop where there's a huge amount of people working on projects at the same time, it's such a motivating feeling. And when I do a live stream, I feel like you guys are motivating me, and we're all in it together and having some creative, crafty fun. So that'll be up tomorrow, which I'm very excited about. The kids will make a little appearance. She's only hanging around for the first hour until he goes to the grandparents for the day. But little Miss Violet will be popping in and out during the stream. She's a good girl, so she probably will be able to just hang around in the background a little bit as well. So while I've been yakking on, I love the pink polka dot paper, and I was so tempted to make it my background piece, but I knew that I would struggle with this floral paper in other with other photos. It's quite a busy multicolored floral, and if you've watched my channel for a while, you know I do struggle a bit with the multicolored papers. Even though it's beautiful, I just find them a little bit trickier to use. And so I thought, because I'm scrapping a photo of Violet in a multicolored onesie, it makes sense to use this paper. So I really wanted to try and use it. And I find that if I use a busy background paper, I usually like to pair it with a large photo layer of just a more solid color. So even though that pink polka dot is also multicolored, it's not as busy as the floral, and it kind of reads just as pink. It doesn't read as pink and blue and red and green and all of the colors, whereas the floral definitely reads as rainbow. So I like to pair it with a more solid paper, and then also just some simple paint swatch goodness in the background can also help give you a place to journal on. I think that's the other reason why I struggle with pattern papers, because there's no resting place to journal with. You either have to add a label or a tag, or as I like to often do, a giant painty blobby goodness. So then I needed to work out my embellishments, and I wanted to do a cluster down in this left hand corner. It just seemed like a heavy place on the layout, and I often like to place my embellies in a cluster kind of where the base of the page likes to be. So I thought this corner was a good spot. It was kind of the meeting area of all of those paper layers, and so I thought that would work out quite well. I really wanted to use that deer, and you can see I took it off, and then just I didn't know what to do with it. But instead I decided to save that one up for a different page. I think it was a little bit too delicate in that the legs of the deer are very thin, and I felt like I needed something that was a bit heavier and a bit more bold, and that "You Are Magical" little word circly piece was a little bit heavier, and I just felt like it suited that corner and didn't get wiped away. I felt like the deer would have disappeared a little bit. So then I'm working on just using a few little bits of the ephemera pack, and then also going through these sticker books. I freaking love these sticker books. I have the first Maggie Holmes one, the original pink one, and I think it's I probably only have a quarter of it left, maybe a third at most. I've used a lot of it up. I really should pull it out again, maybe for some Grab 5 challenges. Maybe on the stream I might challenge myself and see how much I can use up in various little projects, because these sticker books are really handy if you for a couple of reasons. I think they're handy because there's a lot of coordinating stickers in a small space, so you don't have to go through a whole heap of your stash to find things that match. They're also handy because if you are someone who doesn't have a large storage place to put all of your scrappy supplies, it doesn't take up much room, but it gives you lots of options to use. And it's also just nice to have the best bits of your favourite collections in one spot too. So then I went a little bit tiny word mad on this page, just a tad. There were tiny words going here, there and everywhere, because I may have forgotten about these Dear Lizzie words as part of the Grab 5 challenge, and I'm actually glad I included them, because I was able to use some of these words that had more of a light blue turquoisey background, and it really made the collar on her onesie pop. So I'm glad that I was able to add that. I was considering using some wood veneer hearts and doing the old Posca paint pens glossy accents trick that I tend to do, that you've probably seen in a few of my recent videos. But instead I used the puffy hearts because I just felt like it was a bit of a softer finish than the hard wood veneer. So then I've sped this bit up quite a bit, so I'm just doing my journaling here. But please let me know in the comments if you're joining in on the live stream, if you've joined in previous ones as well. And if you're not able to watch it at the time it goes live, YouTube does automatically upload it to YouTube. It probably takes about 24-48 hours, but it's all done automatically. Bit of high to shine. And what was the other question that I always get? Oh, how long am I going for? I don't know. It all depends on how Violet is. Aaron will be here to look after Violet, but I'm hoping I start at 7 a.m. my time. I'm hoping to go till at least after midday, maybe 2 p.m. We'll see how things are going along. So maybe 5 or 7 hours. We'll see what happens on the day. But I really hope that you can come and join me and scrap along. And I might do a few grab 5 challenges that you can play along with at home, and you can help me pick out the grab 5 goodies. All right, peeps, it's the end of the video, but I will see you all very soon. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow, and I hope you have a lovely weekend. It's a long weekend here in Australia, so lots of relaxing for us this weekend. All right, peeps, bye.